control, the ultimate arrogance of the ego. And yes, I had to make that title slightly more dramatic, or it wouldn't be, as good. The ego must have a great battle before it loses control. So nothing less than the ultimate battle of arrogance. So I'm going to gently ease into this one for both of our sakes. Because you'd think that love, talking about love, like that would be something the body might slightly resist a little bit or something. Oh, but brother, control. Control was really, really, really the good one. So here we go. Let's all take a deep breath together. Just breathing in and exhaling out. And in our bodies, we're imagining that we're centering and aligning. And why would I say it like that? Why would I say we're imagining, we're centering? Because we already are centered. We're already in perfect alignment. And when we let go of control, that energy that wants to hang on to it so badly, we open up channels within ourselves to move love energy across this planet through our own bodies. And right there, I've said the most important and critical aspect of this. Right there, right off the top, there it is. And now we'll take the long way. We'll play with it. Let's give control the pretense of an ultimate battle. So let's breathe in. And the first thing that we notice about control is that it has a story. If it has control, it can make things good, better, right, whatever. It's got this story. But control, as we use it, is stuck on repeat. The control that you and I use is just a repeat of the past. It has no brilliant thought for the future. And is that arrogant? Yes, it is. It's arrogant because it thinks it knows. It thinks that it knows what's right, what should happen, the right way to do it, the right way to get it. And is absolutely basing itself on the past. It remembers the last time you tried to control something, what went wrong, is put in measures to make sure that doesn't happen again, and it's going to wait for the next time to get it better and right. And is literally grabbing an old dish rag to clean the dishes. This is how I did it last time. This is how I'll do it this time, with a little extra smoothness to get off a certain thing, and ta-da. And what makes us think that we would know the absolute best way to handle a situation? Now, we do know the best way many times in our lives. The best way for us. We feel something's right or something's wrong, but to decide that a particular resolution is exactly the right resolution negates 9/10 of your power. Because our minds cannot fathom the best resolution. They can fathom a resolution. It can fathom a halfway decent resolution, something better than what's happening, but it cannot fathom the possibility, the resolution that can come from the perfect balance in everyone who's a part of it. That is beyond the mind. However, it is not beyond the being. But the being doesn't do it with control. It's moment by moment, not in control. So does that mean let go and let God? You know what? Then you got to pick the right God. And you got to pray the right way. So did you pick the right God? And have you prayed the right way? And have you lived the right life to serve that God to get what you want? Because at the end of it, you didn't care about any of those things. You just wanted what you wanted. Nothing wrong with that. Don't even feel guilty or bad. Just say it. I am. I wanted to make sure that if I wasn't in control, then I picked the right God and did the right things to have the right life, to not experience pain, and to get everything I wanted. And there was nothing wrong with that. Outside of the fact that which one's the right God? So when we've been willing to let go of control, we wanted to let it go into the hands of something higher, something that might be benevolent. But that's still control. It's just control a different way. It's how the mind looks at releasing control. You know, when I went to do this live tonight, my mind did something different than it's done in the past. It made me an outline. My mind wanted to control how we did this tonight. That's how much it loves it. Oh my God. And that's okay. Sweet little mind. It put in great effort for this outline. And I pleased it because I brought it in here in the room with me just so that it would be able to look over there at it. So how would I know that control is futile? And how could I smile and live out of control? How could I smile as I realized there is no control? And how do I not go into fear when I realize I'm sitting on this rock spinning around the sun and nothing's in control? Why is that not terrifying? And why can I be happy? What is there if not control? And if the next level isn't to pray to the right God to get control, why is that not terrifying? And why is it so joyful? Because you, as a part of the universe, you, as an absolutely responding and contributing and participating part of the universe, are a part of this perfect harmony and balance that is, and that does not need control. Now, how does this entire solar system function out of control? Why is the sun not slinging planets further? What is happening that in the volume of speed of which we are moving at right now on this planet around the sun, the stuff isn't flying off? Breakneck speeds, but not out of control. Explosions of supernovas and stars, but not out of control. What is there if not control? Perfect, balanced harmony and gravity. Gravity. The balancer. All things in it balanced. No need for control. Everything participating and holding everything in place. When everything functions like this, in perfect harmony, there's no need for control because everything will return to balance because it is perfectly aligned. And when you are perfectly aligned, along with everyone else who is all a part of the whole, then we're just moving each other along. So how does that work out when it comes to a story about our lives? Because if this can't reflect all the way down to a story about our lives, how do we incorporate it and integrate it? Well, you're integrated with it, whether you incorporate it into your mind or not. You are already responsively working with everything else in the universe. So let's take a moment to think of something we want to control. There's so much. So we just consider that. And I'll tell you a story that showed me how control is just an illusion. That there actually isn't anything to control and nothing in control. So when I said, let's ride bareback together, it's because when we went to go up to the, let's say, the environment where we would be able to be in control, and we're like, okay, Dina, you get control. Take the reins. And I start looking around for the reins. And I'm on the horse, and it's taking off, and it's riding around, and I got no reins. And the big joke was, because there aren't any. Because there's nothing to hand you control. Because there's nothing operating from the perspective of control. So I'll go back to this story. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me about one of her life problems. She has a grandchild, and the grandchild needs her help because her daughter's not doing so good. But her daughter doesn't know that she's not doing so good. So she doesn't want help. And she's watching from the outside this really bad situation involving, other people, domestic violence, etc. And so my friend is absolutely terrified and wants control as would I, as would you. Nothing wrong with that. So she wants this control. Because if she had control, then she could help her daughter and help her grandchild. And this all could be just resolved so quickly. Everything would be okay. She knows the answers. The answer is my daughter be healthy. She's taking care of her daughter. She gets rid of the bad ex-husband or boyfriend, and all is well. But it's never as simple as that. But yes, that would be perfect if that would just work out. So she wants to be there for her granddaughter. But she's not in control of this situation. She can't force her daughter to do anything. And she's trying to help. So she could spend all day long trying to calculate, how do I be there for my granddaughter? How do I show up when she needs me? How can I be present to her when she needs me? Does she need me today? What about 5 minutes from now? What about 10 minutes? Is it going to be tonight, in the middle of the night? What's it going to be? So we want to control it. And there's no way to know all those things. And we know that. So then we're left with the other thing. If we're not in control, are we feeling out of control? So then my friend has to choose, do I just have a mental meltdown knowing that my grandchild is in harm's way and there's nothing I can do about it? My daughter's in harm's way. There's nothing I can do about it. I've done all the things that can be done and I want to go insane because this is so intense for me, because I know this is so important and lives are on the line and people could die. And how the heck am I going to hold it together? So my friend has control, if I can just control it, and out of control. I can't. I'm not in control of this one. And we've both been there. We've all been there, sitting on that edge. Then my friend tells me about something that happened. That she happened to decide to go out near where her daughter lived to see her ex-mother-in-law because she was getting close to passing, and she thought, well, I'll go visit her and say hello. So she did. And then she decides, I think I'm going to just pop by my daughter's house and see if my daughter will say hello to me. So she drives up over there and she sits outside the house. She doesn't try to go in. She texts her daughter to say, hey, I'm around. Love for you to see me. Can you come out? And she sits and waits. She sits and waits and waits. Now, how is she in that car? Is she angry? Is she like, why won't she return? Why can't she talk to me? Is she terrified? Is he not letting her? Did me sending that message do something? Is he going to hurt her because he saw the message? Who knows what's going through my friend's mind as she's sitting there? She can be wrapped up in, if I had control, I'm going to sit out here and I'm not moving until you get out here. Or is she hurt because, like, I'm trying to reach you, honey, and I can't seem to get through and I'm not in control? Are these other feelings popping up? What is the magnitude of what she's actually feeling in that moment, sitting outside that house? It was months later that my friend learned that day she sat outside the house and waited. That it just so happened that her granddaughter was home at that time. And that her granddaughter had just been through something so terrifying. And that her granddaughter sat there, scared to come to the door to wave at her grandmother. But she looked through the window and saw her grandmother's car and her grandmother in the car. And that little girl knew she was loved and safe. Didn't feel real safe, but there was something. Right outside that door is my grandmother. She loves me. I can't talk to her, but I feel her energy. I feel her love. I'm going to be okay. No amount of planning could have got my friend outside that house to support that day. There was no way she could control her way into it. There was no way that the out of controlness could stop her, even though she didn't know the right place to be at the right time. She was there. So what does that tell us about control and out of control and all these feelings? That at all times you are in perfect alignment. That you don't need control to be at the right place at the right time. That in fact, control didn't get my friend there. But she was there. Control had nothing to do with it. Perfect alignment. And not only did my friend show up that day, but it just so happened that her ex-husband had to go over there for a visit that day. For some other ridiculous reason. He didn't even want to go, but he went over. And the granddaughter saw him too. And he was able to go inside, and she wrapped her arms around his leg, and she had support again on the very day that she needed it. Beyond the ability for control to control. So what is present if not control? What is this that we are all in that functions most profoundly without control? Again, there's the choice. See, my friend and you and I are always in perfect alignment. We are where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there, fully used to our capabilities each time. So control is an illusion because it didn't matter that she wasn't the one guiding that day and doing this and doing that and making X happen. It didn't matter that she felt absolutely out of control, that the world was coming at her and what the heck was she going to do? Neither of those two things interfered with perfect alignment. She was there. Perfect harmony, balance, and alignment. No matter the status or the belief of the mind to understand. So if we can separate control from the actual alignment and participation with this universe, then we can see that control is arrogance and also an illusion. Because it literally had nothing to do. Positive control or negative out of control, neither one mattered one bit. That was just the status of the mind, where the mind was, while my friend was in perfect alignment, being there for her grandchild. Energetically connected to the situation, participating and functioning, giving love, beyond the ability of control or out of control. So since control has absolutely nothing to do with it, it's a choice of where you would like your focus. I will be in perfect alignment, but shall I have that with coffee, sugar and cream, or shall I have it over the rocks? Do you get that? What do you want to experience while you are in perfect alignment. Would you like to experience driving up, sitting outside that house? Maybe a little clueless. I don't quite know why I'm here, but I'm sitting here. And rather than being frazzled in fear because you're not in control, and rather than being angry as hell because you're not in control, or rather than being so into yourself because I'm a man, I'm a woman, I in control, I got this going, you will do what I say, all of that, huff and puff. How would you like your drink while you experience life? Because what Kool-Aid are you drinking? Which emotion are you drinking? And still in exactly the right place at the right time for the things that require your participation. How would you like your Kool-Aid? What flavor? You want to be sad? You want to be happy? You want to be crazy? You want to be narcissistic? Okay, do it. Or breathe in to the perfect alignment that you're in and sit outside the house from the space that allows you to enjoy the loving energy that you're sending inside of it. Enjoy wrapping that energy around your little baby. And use it to solidify yourself that though today you are not in control, that you are supporting perfect balance and harmony and calling for the perfect balance and harmony from everyone else in that picture. Because here's the other important part. You're in perfect alignment. And everybody, no one's in control, but we're all sending signals. So the importance is to be very close to the signal that you're sending. That there's nothing interfering with it as much as you can. And when you let go of the anger of not having control or feeling like you got all that in a bag of chips because you're in control for like this 10 seconds and your day is going to be over in about 15 seconds and somebody else's is going to be in control. Or being fearful. Focus on the alignment that you're in. And from this space, inject love, balance, harmony towards love, because this person, maybe they're bringing a whole lot of pain to the situation. Ooh, yeah. And you feel it and you start tilting because they're like a little flapper blowing towards you. So yours has got to move over a little bit. And then, you know, if you try to do it with like force, like, you're going to send some love. They're forcing my love this way towards you. That's not really that. But when you're in perfect true alignment, what begins to happen is energy can move through you without blockages. And you can bring all the light and love and support of the energy that you are to the situation. And then what happens is you start radiating out further and further. And you start affecting the other ones, everybody in balance. If you're like a tuning fork and you strike that tuning fork and you hold that tone of love, peace, all can work out for the best. I'm here to participate with that energy and bring it to the table, and you strike that fork and you hold that tone. Everything around you will rebalance, but it's going to balance to the strongest tone, the tone, the vibration, the frequency of life. And life is behind you, and you don't have to freak out if you got the right God or not, because what's going to happen is life. Life seeks wholeness, balance, fruitfulness, abundance, and it's been doing it for millennia. So trust that when you participate with life, it's got your best interest in mind and everyone else's. And that's called gravity. Doesn't need control. And that's your pure alignment. So the only thing you let go of when you let go of control is the illusion that it ever was playing in the game. Control has nothing to do with perfect alignment. And you have everything to do with it, because it is the tuning fork of your body, which is presenting to everything in the space around it the vibration of that energy. And when you align and you have conscious awareness of your alignment, then you're a tidal wave. Because it isn't just you. It's everything in that environment supporting balance and harmony, whether it likes it or not. Because that's life. Going to balance, going to harmony. And don't be dismayed if the winds blow this way, because you always got to rectify to balance. There is not one single thing on any of these planets around us or this one that's out of balance. It's always in perfect balance with everything else that's going on. But the wave of change is when we're all in alignment and recognize it and participate. And to do so, step away from the illusion of control. It's not real. It's not necessary. It's not even important. But we'll call it arrogance. Or not. Up to you. Isn't it funny? It's all up to you. And what alignment and awareness you'd like to have for your daily pleasure. It's amazing. I thought control was so important, and letting go, until I saw that they're basically irrelevant. So, do it whenever. Do it at your convenience. Whenever you would like to experience something besides the feeling of control and out of control. It's mind-blowing, really, that it was so minor. It's just a choice of what you want to have with your coffee. Do you like it with hazelnut or mocha? Contentment? Discontentment? Control is not such a big thing. It thinks it is. Oh, my mind. Wait a minute, I'll show you look at this little paper. With my little outline on it and everything. I loved it. I love being able to enjoy my mind tripping along like that. I love the freedom of knowing I don't have to find the right God to pray to. I love the freedom of not having to try to figure out how to have control. You could look out across this world and see everybody in it as a little blade of grass. And we're all doing this, waving at each other as the wind blows us one direction or another. But rather than just being blown about by the wind, select how you want to feel in alignment. And then the energy that pours through you isn't just yours. You're not just a blade of grass anymore. You're the wind. You're the rain. You're the earth. And you're the spin. And you're all of it in perfect alignment. And there's not one other blade of grass around you that isn't going to resonate to that because of the power of all of it moving at the same time. And that is also what is happening for the conscious awareness on this planet. The more conscious you are, the more you add to the wave of consciousness that is shifting this planet, all for the best, for us all. And not one little blade of grass left behind, and not one little blade of grass judged for whichever way it blew until it understood it was an antenna. We're always told to learn to control our emotions. When we control, though, we can kind of feel ourselves pinch down on that energy, right? And try to hold it in. Now, what if we understood that that emotion coming up full force is an option? It's hazelnut or mocha or peppermint or ginger. We don't have to look at our emotions as something that must be controlled. But with control comes a feeling of power. Oh, yes. You know, we're often made fun of for our choices of like, what kind of car do you want? What color are you going to get? Da, 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 da. We kind of blow off choice as if it's, and yet it's so powerful. We're said, control your emotions because then you know you're doing something. Yes. I have my little outline. I knew I was doing something. That's control. It feels powerful. At least we could feel powerful. But why not feel at ease and realize emotions don't have to be controlled? Noticed, accepted, choose to join it or not. It's like you're going to be in perfect alignment. But while you're in perfect alignment, how would you like to feel? Would you like to feel the alignment and the ease and the freedom? Or do you want to be caught up in the fact that you're having to sit outside of a house and wait 15 minutes and nobody's getting back with you because you didn't know that you were sitting outside the house loving your grandchild, sending them everything they needed in that moment? Energetically. They looked out there and they saw you and they were safe. Or we can be full of anger because our kid's not getting back to us. It's the difference. So controlling emotions, maybe just breathing through and allowing and saying, oh, look, I get really mad about that one. I get really excited about this. I get really da-da-da-da about that. Because when you realize you don't have to control them, they're a lot less powerful. And you're a lot more powerful. So powerful you don't need control. And what the hell kind of power is so powerful it doesn't need control? Well, that's you. And the only way to get to know that power is to get over micro power, which is control. It's micro power. It's not going to last long, and it's going to have a blowback. If you go around pushing a certain direction, forcing, at some point, it's going to blow back. Because why? Inevitable. But if you can be peaceful and at ease and let the power of the universe participating with you, as you, through you, well, now you're talking. And it doesn't make you cocky because you see all the other little blades of grass or can do the same. And when all the little blades of grass do the same, then it's a whole field of it. It's a whole mountainside of it. It's a whole valley of it. And then when that goes through a shift of energy, which the biggest part you're playing is letting the energy flow through you from life through you. And nothing can stop it. No other energy can stop it when it's in that heavy of a wave, which is what we're going for. So would you just like to be happy while you go about this? It's your choice. We get excited, right? Nobody's going to control us. Nobody's going to control me and I don't have to control them. Oh, the freedom. Yay. But then quickly behind that is like, wait, if there's no control, how do I get what I want? That's the whole point of control at the end of it is, how do I get what I want? Oh, God. Here we are, able to feel so many things. Love, hate, anger, joy, everything. And first, we have to let go of judgment on what we're feeling. That it's okay to feel joy, but not anger. If we let go of these feelings, we just feel. That's one of the beauties of being human, that we get to feel. And I wish I could express how important feeling is. Not these little emotions. Anger, etc., sadness, loneliness. They don't feel little. They can be overwhelming. They can even make us take our own lives sometimes. But that's not the feeling that we were here to feel. At the beginning of time, always crack up because there's no beginning of time, but a long time ago, in creation. And creation not even being creation of the planet. A long time ago, there was nothing but stillness. Nothing but stillness. Beautiful, spacious, free, peaceful stillness. And then there was a feeling. And all that was felt for the first time. And it was such a rush. Consciousness felt. What is this? Newness. What is feeling? And the power of it, because it moved and it awakened And it was like, holy, and then it was like, wait, and awarenesses came off of the ability to feel. And then, like a rush of adrenaline coursing through, how can I feel again? What is feeling and how can I have that? Because it's like, that's how important feeling is. Movement and energy. And since consciousness has recognized it, it has said, well, there's some good stuff right here. In fact, lots of stuff can happen from the mix of motion and feeling and light. Like worlds can be designed off of that. Let's do it. Pleasures can be designed off of that. The first time we felt anger, I bet it was so good. Like, can you imagine just like the power? I mean, it must have been awesome. And then somebody said, it's not good to feel that feeling. You control that now. No. But the power of the first feeling, which was way more, it was all feeling, and it was love, creates worlds. So how does intent factor into that? When you are in alignment and in perfect harmony, feeling, the beauty of feeling feelings, the beauty of feeling feelings that doesn't say anger is awful, or that this is bad, or that is other, or sadness, or loneliness. It loves feeling. But underneath many feelings is the absolute security and assurance of love, life, peace, perfect balance and harmony. And so intention is the joy of being alive, because you can choose how you might like to feel. And most of us want to feel loving and loved, because it's natural. Because when you're happy and loving and enjoying, no skin off your nose for everyone around you to be happy and loving, enjoying. And when you're sad, there's enough happy, loving, enjoying to hold space for your sadness, not to change you from being sad, but to hold space for that feeling to be honored and move. And intent is the beauty of creativity from the beautiful energy that you are. And all of us here intending well for ourselves and others. It's an opportunity to enjoy, to have something spontaneous and beautiful, for things to evolve, for the unknown to come forward. Because when we all align in this energy, we have no clue what's coming forward, but it's going to feel good. It's like when we become a part of this wave of energy that's pushing through us, it's the best rush you've ever had. And it's sustained, and it's joyful, and it's abundant. Doesn't need to take anything from anybody else. And in fact, we can all enjoy it. So intention is kind of like the spice. Because if we knew everything and how it turned out, what a boring way to be. You know, it's so funny because I thought about dating apps, right? We get on there. Hi, I'm X years old, spontaneous, organic, and like a great new, surprise. I love to be, etc. and etc. And over here, we're doing that, and the whole time we're trying to control how everybody thinks of us and what we think of them and everything else around. And we put on a dating app, oh yeah, spontaneous, organic, love surprises. No, we don't. But when we're safe and we don't have to be the mastermind of it all, well, we can take risks. We can be spontaneous. We can be organic. We can be crazy. Because then it's like, it's all okay. That space is so loving. And the energy is moving at such an incredible pace. It is completely beyond your control and my control. But can we inject in there? Yes, you do, because you're a channel for that energy. So that which is in life experience for you is affecting that energy as it moves out. And that energy is supportive of those intents that you have. And when you're in that energy, even if you've screwed up an intent, don't worry about it, because that energy going to take care of it. So it's like, relax. Know that you're loved and live a life of that kind of love moving through you, and it's taking care of you and everybody else. No doubt. But yes, we get to put in the desires for the life. Or why the hell else be here? I mean, if you have to come here and you don't get anything out of it, why come? I mean, of course, you're going to get some stuff out of it, and you're going to enjoy the heck out of it, and you're going to get to feel. Otherwise, like, what a dumpster show we'd be in if we were all here and, just make it through and be spiritual, and, it'll, and the eternity's on the other side and we'll all be better then. It's like, can I just skip this part and go straight to eternity? Why do I have to live when I can just go ahead and die and be in eternity? That'd be way better. We think we're doing something when we work with thought. Oh, I'm changing how I think, and that's important. Changing how you love you, changing how you treat you is important. Because once you start scraping off worrying about your thoughts, worrying about controlling emotions, controlling other people, when you start getting those little things out of the way, and you start seeing what life is really about, and what you're here to do, and how you're energetically participating, the daily wah-wahs ain't what it's about. We think it is. It doesn't take long before we get rid of that layer. We're focused on loving ourselves. It's the energy that we're moving on this planet, which is taking all of us with it. That's what it's about. But we get caught up with some of these little things. And there's nothing wrong with thinking that they're big things, because they are big until we get to that right perspective. And then it's like, oh, wait. And even then, even as we begin to, like, if you look at like this side right here is mind and how I feel about my day and what I'm doing today. And then you jump back a little bit, and it's maybe more about like your, how you treat people, your character, and you jump back a little bit more, and, you keep stepping further back, and you see communities then and how communities are doing. You step further back and you see how this whole world is sort of doing. You step back and you see how the energy of worlds is actually shifting and moving, and you're participating in that. You know what? It doesn't say, oh, your feelings don't matter. That's nothing. It just says, hey, while we're evolving into a new universe and we're all sort of changing our spiritual DNA, there's a cleanup on aisle 9 about a wah-wah. And you go and you take care of that and you lovingly do it. Because why not? You're capable of it. You're the friggin' universe. You're capable of wiping your little nose when you're sad while you create a new Jupiter. It's no biggie. But the cool part is getting over thinking you're only crying and wiping your nose all the time. It's getting to see all of it and enjoy all of it and to participate in all of it. None of it needs to be belittled or discarded. Because when you're all that is, you get time and love for it all. Just enjoy it. If you're going to drink coffee, enjoy all the flavors. Control is only an illusion. And to just enjoy yourselves and move as much energy as possible through your bodies. Because I'll say it this way. We all spend a lot of time working, saving money for a vacation, to get on a ride and go, oh my God, we went up there. Although I hate roller coasters, I can feel like the little, and then the screaming and the energy, right? And it's like, we go to concerts because we just want to, I'm thinking of Joan Jett. I hate myself for loving you, and you just get it out and you're like, and it feels so good. We live our lives to make money, to pay bills so we can go have these feelings. Guess what? We can just have the feeling. Guess what? That's what you're on this planet doing. Don't wait for vacation. Sit on your porch drinking coffee and ride that energy wave and feel it coursing through your body and realize you don't even need control because it's working in your interest. Because why? Because you're a part of the very universe that's flowing through you, and you're not going to screw you or anybody else. Have a good time and feel these energies.